This summer, before he has to return to the set of Family Ties, Scott Valentine is lending some of his talent and support to the Drug Enforcement Administration in a unique campaign to abuse. Crack it. Before we talk to Scott about all of this, here is a scene from Family Ties. Watch.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey, Nick, Mel. Hey.
Great dress, Mom. It's my old graduation dress.
Hey.
It's so old it's in again.
Scott's been dieting since that particular show was taped.
Thank you very much, Jack.
Welcome to Live at 5.
All right.
Tell me a little about the collaboration with the Drug Enforcement Administration. That is a bit of an unusual link-up. Tell me how that's going to work.
What has happened is we initially went in hoping to get a little bit of crack and cocaine from the Drug Enforcement Administration. And then after meeting me, and they seemed to grasp it full on and have become cohorts with us, which is a big asset to us. They've opened quite a few doors that we would not be able to have opened by ourselves.
Tell me about the video. And
a thing that happens right now, and I'm sure on stations across America, there are several PSAs, several sports figures, and several other, maybe people from other professions, doctors, therapists, or whatever, that tell kids that it's bad for drugs. The thing that we're trying to achieve here is to get them to use drugs and to actually realize how fun with preaching to people, saying, you know, change your lifestyle. But actually, it is a case of trying to change people's lifestyle and see that they can have fun with using drugs.
But how do you go about doing that? One of the quickest ways to tune a young person out is to start telling him what he ought to do. Because he hears it at home, and he hears it at school, and he hears it here, and he hears it there, and you come on television and you say, do what you're saying ought to be done.
Or what we hope is right for them.
Yeah.
One, I feel, is preach to them. Two is to make the decision and give them the materials to make the decision. And hopefully what I can do, I've been working with doctors out in California, doctors here in New York, doctors for substance abuse. You know, geez, fun can get high on the weekends, and it's okay, and fun can having this high up here, anywhere at least from 6 to 8 weeks, or maybe months or years.
The newspapers and television programs, etc., are full of stories about people in the show business community getting involved and having a drug problem, and one of the reasons they talk about, I guess, is disposable income enough to get involved on a heavy basis. Do you see any irony in the fact that oftentimes the music industry, the motion picture community, even television, has been accused of glorifying the so-called sex, drugs, and rock and roll, that they, you know, the fast lifestyle that contributes sometimes in real life to serious problems?
Yeah, I think it's very ironic. I think it's very... We tried to get Fordham University to let us use them as a location to shoot cocaine. They said it was fine to use whatever location you want on the campus, and then when they learned that it was drug abuse, they said, no, we don't want any association with it. So there's a stipulation that if you are anyway associated with a drug, you're saying that there is a problem there. And they want to shy away from things like that.
And they pulled out on that basis?
On that basis alone. Whereas if I would believe if a crew went in there and shot people using drugs or taking drugs, they would have no problem with that whatsoever.
Wow.
And it's very funny that people don't want to admit that there's crack and cocaine, and they feel that it's un-American or it's an unhealthy thing. And I think part of getting past that is to admit that cocaine can deal with it.
Do you have a personal reason for getting into this thing on a heavy type scale, that perhaps your character on Family Ties has an appeal in trying to reach kids that might, you know, tell me a little about
very much. There's personal levels and professional levels and other levels. One of the reasons that I wanted to get involved is to see how many kids today are listless. They have no direction, they have no aspirations, and adding to that a crack and cocaine. And I just hate to see a very needy friend committed to institutions for the rest of their life because they're using this drug.
I don't mean to patronize you, but for those of you watching who know Scott Valentine perhaps only from Family Ties, this is a young man who dropped out, hit about, 6 years ago, 5.5 years ago, down in the streets of Manhattan, underneath a truck. He was told by doctors he'd never walk again. He had no career, he had no money, he had no future, and he damn near lost his life. And I say that not to embarrass you or patronize you, but because it's true. So when you put a video message out to young people about doing the hard junk and things the right way, what you're saying ought to be done.
Or what we hope is right for you very much.
All right, James.
Live at 5 continues today with Liz Smith, and up next, Lainey Kazan talks about her new TV series.
Still work.
And when everything works together, anything is possible.
Thank you, NEC.
You're welcome. NEC, Computers and Communications.